So the last rod is Spirit Binder. Ew. How the fuck are you gonna get that? 2 Spirit Sea Mines? How are you gonna get the Spirit mutation? I wonder what chance that is for appraising. Me neither. Especially trying to get the sea mines out of the desolate deep with the crab cages. So you get 2 Spirit Sea Mines. Yeah, I'm gonna say you have to appraise for it. More than likely. 3 Spirit Speed Cores. And 3 Lunar Threads. And your spirit is SPIRIT. I mean, we can pretty much already easily make all the ones that take the amethyst, rubies, the opal, the lapis. Just getting the wood. I guess I'd go start working on getting the golden sea pearls. Actually, let me read. So it says every 30 seconds, a 5% chance summons a royal escort, boosting luck by 150% for 45 seconds. If you miss a catch, there's 30 or 35 or 15. I think it says 15. 15% chance of immediately catching a higher rarity fish. All fish have a 60% chance to be greedy.
There's already a rod that does greedy.
Yeah.
It's dumb as fuck.
Yeah.
And needing 2 golden sea pearls from that son of a bitch?
Yeah.
That's the best you can give us?
I'm gonna look up the spirit mutation quick. Okay, this one's your controller. You have a job for me, sunfish. Fish spirit mutation. Chance or appraised at a 0.05 chance.
Alright, like in all actuality, some of these rods, that even though they're craftable, are definitely difficult to craft, like that particular rod. And like Moss Ripper. And even with me having bad luck at the moment with Fab, I still wouldn't count Fab as like being an extremely difficult quest. The quest itself isn't that hard. Tedious, maybe, but not hard. Getting the golden sea pearls is a pain in the fucking ass. By far. And again, I've done the try hard quest. I can now officially talk on it to compare it to when everybody got beyond, like, blew up and had a fit with when Dreambreaker was initially over the try hard. Whereas before, I felt like I couldn't talk on that because I hadn't done the quest. But, like, to make and doing the Golden Sea Pearl, sitting there grinding for hours, I still have yet to actually get to fish up my Sea Pearl. If it wasn't for Cloud, I wouldn't have gotten it. Like, the fact that there's a rod in here that takes 2 of those bucks, and the mutation and the passes and everything on it really are just dog shit all the way across the board, and it gives you a mutation another rod already gives you, another rod gives you. Like, I honestly think all of their rods need a whole fucking overhaul. You're not coming through, Mike.
I agree.
Because they're treading in the waters, like, just with, like, adding Nova to Cerulean. There was already a rod that... Or, not a rod, sorry, not Nova, and Cerulean, but, Solar Blaze to Wicked Fang, there was already a rod that did Solar Blaze, so why not just bring that rod back? Why add Nova to Cerulean when Cerulean was already a great rod in itself for what it did, and just not create a whole new one? Or at least Starlight Worms alone.
I think they should just bring back all the rods.
Why have rods now overlap with other rods that do the same fucking shit? Why have enchants that do the same things as rods? It then negates needing said rod to get something specific. One thing that I loved absolutely coming into this game to start with, that I felt like where some people were like, well, those rods are trash, they're useless, but they're not, because you needed them to progress forward to get the next rod, because you needed said mutation off of that rod. So it was, in a way, a reason why you needed those quote-unquote trash rods. It was a leveling system. And those trash rods were still beneficial because they had those mutations. So you still by default needed them whether they were actually good money-wise or XP-wise or not, because they held value by their mutations for the quests that you were coming up into to unlock the next rod. And that's something I really, really enjoyed. So they still held a significance value because you could not get those things otherwise. Unless you're running around begging for the shit from other people. But if you were actually playing the game, that was the way to do it. Now, none of that matters. None of that is a thing. And it's all negates each other. Because you're being able to fish up these mutations naturally without any totem help. Without any rod help. They're just willy-nilly fucking popping up sporadically. Now you have multiple rods that are doing the same thing, and enchants that are doing the same thing as your rods, it's all a chaotic clusterfuck of shit. That nothing holds value anymore. There is no meaning to any of it anymore. And that's frustrating. And then they throw in troll rods and trash rods that are legit trash and troll rods. Why would you go spend days and weeks to try and hope, pray to God you get this pearl for a rod that is actually legit garbage and useless? Because you don't need that rod for any given reason.
Yeah, I don't know.
And nobody has been able to actually give me a valid answer to my argument about newer content and newer rods being better than the older rods. The only way I can see it is that I don't want change. I don't like change. And I work my ass off for that. Well, that's great. But that doesn't negate the fact that if it's not better, nobody's going to do the newer content because it's not worth it. They're going to stick to the older, and that's not going to draw in the newer players or newer people to come in to play the game when nothing in the newer content is worth going to do the new content. And everybody who is still stuck in the past and not wanting to change still sits here and also complains because the game's too grindy or too this or too that and want to run around and beg for everybody else to give them shit. If there is nothing worth anything in the new content, rods, accessories, otherwise, nobody's going to go do the content.
No, they won't.
So rods and other things should always be better than the older. And generally that's a given in any game. The old content is usually always harder, always whatever, more difficult, tedious than new content because the game's been out longer, it's been going longer. Ideas kind of tend to flatline, whatever, whichever. That's common, but doesn't make the content any less.
Welcome back, B-Docs.
Hey.
Welcome back. So, there, I had to go on a little tangent. What's new?
Meh. Not much.
There's a rod in here called the Rod of the Eternal King that takes 2 golden sea pearls to make.
Yeah, fuck that one.
Right? But hold on, it gets better. The passes are dog water. They're absolute shit. And of course, nowhere on par with Ruminous, Fab, or Try Hard. But it gets better. There's already a rod out there that gives you this same mutation.
Yeah, so.
Why the fuck is that? Why is there a rod in there that is that difficult?
No. Back away, D-Docs. Back away. Get out of here.
You get out.
I'm gonna try to get it try hard.
No, I'm going for magical.
What am I looking for? Aurora.
I don't know what you're looking for. Why is there a rod in there that